Well, welcome, subscribers. Today on Miller Family Farm Trust channel, we're going to be changing and maintaining a John Deere D100, but pretty much all the 100 series John Deeres are pretty much the same. So on the farm today, we're going to be doing a complete service on this. The things we'll be using today, and I got this kit on Amazon. If you look directly down below this video, you'll see the link to buy the same exact kit on Amazon. So we have an air filter, a pre-air filter that goes over the air filter, which these really save a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. A lot of dust, because just think about how dusty your lawnmower is. We have a spark plug that we're going to do a spark plug change on. These are little clamps for your fuel line. We got 4 of those. I don't know if we need that many. We have a fuel filter. This is a turn off, and I didn't see on the owner's manual where there was a turn off on this. There could be, so we may or may not use that. This is a fuel pump, and I'm not going to change that today, but I am going to put this in a Ziploc bag and label it John Deere 100 and hang on to that in case I do need it. I just don't believe in fixing things with non-OEM parts to replace OEM parts that work. So I'm just going to hang on to that. And then we have a oil filter that we'll be installing. And again, this came from our favorite supplier in the world, Amazon. And I think it was like $23 for the whole kit. So it was a lot better than what they were quoting us at the dealership, which is about $140 or something like that to do a service like we're talking about. They call it a tune-up / service, but it's a spark plug. It's oil change. It's an air filter change. It's simple, and I think literally will take us less than 20 minutes. I looked all over the internet, and everybody recommends the 10W30 for the for the weight oil for the John Deere riding lawnmowers. And so I'll take their word on it. I've seen it out of 10 sites, 9 of them said that. So, of course, if you want to use John Deere oil, by all means, feel free. And we're not liable for your choices. So if you use some other, oil and it blows your tractor up, bad on you. And I always put, when I'm doing services on things, I do a Lucas fuel conditioner just to kind of clean out the carb and help clean out the inside of the engine where we don't normally get to. And there's an empty gallon jug so that we can recycle our oil. The tools that we'll need are really simple. Just a basic socket set that obviously has a spark plug wrench, pair of pliers, an adjustable wrench, or pliers, excuse me, and an oil wrench. And that is really it. Oh, by the way, please subscribe now to Miller Family Farm Trust channel, and we do everything farm. We buy land, sell land, buy new pickup trucks, buy tractors, service tractors, plant crops, put up fencing, you name it, we do it. And everything to do with land and outdoors and ATVs and you name it, anything outdoors, and that's us. So first thing, when I researched a maintenance schedule on John Deere, they were all over the place. They said the first oil change is 10 hours, and that is like a break-in oil. And then thereafter, 100 hours, which I think is ridiculous because I've been using my John Deere for about a year, and I have to show you how many hours are on it. Not like I use it a lot, but I don't know if you can see that. But it says 30.9 hours. And when I went online and I looked on YouTube and I Googled it, some people say they change it every 10 hours. Some people say every 50 hours. Some people, they say that John Deere says every 100 hours do an oil change. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's a great way to sell tractors. So anyways, we're at 30.9, and I'm just kind of like of the feeling that because it's only like a quart and a half, that what the heck, I could change this all the time in our ATVs and side-by-sides. we change it every time we ride because our motors are important to us, and ATVs usually only take a quart and a half of oil. So just, a quick, easy thing to do can really extend, and cause reliability of your equipment for a long time. So we're at 30.9 hours, and this is actually our second oil change. So let's get into it. First, open the hood. Okay, well, we have to find some things in here. So let's first just try to find, right there on the outside is the fuel pump they were talking about. But again, I'm going to leave the OEM on there. It's only got 30 hours on it, and I really don't think there's any issue with our fuel pump. Right there is our handy dandy fuel line filter. It's got a directional on it, pointing which direction to do it in, so I'm going to notate that it's pointing up. So we'll watch that when we put in our other one. Right there is our oil filter, so all within 6 inches of each other on this John Deere D100. Within 6 inches of each other is about half of our maintenance we're going to be doing today. And air filter, I'm looking around here, I'll bet you it's underneath this hood right here, because where else would it be? Wow, those are loose. We'll have to make sure that those are somewhat tight when we reinstall. Well, maybe they weren't loose. Now they are. Okay. Yes. Air filter, and it has no pre-filter on it. I gotta tell you that on all of our ATVs, when you're buying high-end filters, they always give you a pre-filter, that yellow or whatever filter that goes around your air filter, and those catch 90% of all the dirt. So we're definitely going to put a pre-filter on the next filter that's going on here. This one actually looks pretty good. I may just save that for the future. I'm going to change it, but I'll save it for the future because that's almost perfectly white, and it doesn't look like George has been using his lawnmower much. And I am looking for the spark plug. There she is right there. Just found the spark plug wire. So here's a spark plug wire, and there is our spark plug. So far we got about what? 30 seconds tied up into this? Or, okay, excuse me, 3 minutes. So we've identified the air filter, the oil filter, the fuel filter, and the spark plug. And now we're ready to begin some work on here. I don't know why, but I always start with an oil change. So got my gallon jug, and this just has a simple little cap on it. Just the strangest thing. And the cap pulls off, so they say. Oops. We'll put our gallon jug right underneath here, catch all of our oil, and I always take the lid off. Look how fast that oil pulls when you crack the lid. And the oil looks like it's in pretty good condition. I mean, it's not pitch black or anything. So, I don't know if you can see that. Oh! They must have heard I was doing farm work today, and they're sending out the fire department. So we're just going to let that drain for a little while. Isn't that cool? Just a cap. How easy can you get? You only need a pair of pliers and just a twist-on cap that allows your oil to pour out. So it's a little windy today, but we'll make sure that that doesn't end up on the ground and makes it into our recycling canister that we're going to drop off at Advanced Auto. And I always try to make sure that if you're putting a quart and a half in, that there's a quart and a half coming out. It tells you if you're burning oil or anything like that. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and make sure that we're about a quart and a half in that gallon jug when we're done. Okay, well, while this is draining, I think we should go around to the other side and do the oil filter. Tools for this side are paper towels and an oil wrench. I just bought this at Advanced Auto, whopping $4.99. So usually this gets oily because there's more oil in the oil filter. So I always try to put down like a drop. Because, you know, we love the environment. We love our farm. We love our lands. And I don't like getting oil. Not like it's a huge deal, but I don't like getting oil on the ground or anywhere else other than the recycle bin. So we're just going to put our wrench on this and turn. Okay, that's a little tight. There we go. It should be just about a quarter turn past tight is where you need to be on these. So that one was a little tight, but not too bad. So off comes, oh, there comes the oil I was telling you about. So we'll try to get this off as quick as possible. Get her turned down so we can pour that oil into our recycling tool. One of the things you want to be aware of is make sure the gasket on your oil filter didn't stick onto the ring, onto your engine ring. So just going to clean that off, inspect it, and no problem. And again, the oil looks pretty good. It's not really black or anything like that. Yeah, the oil looks like it's in really good shape, so I might be a little premature to change this every 20 hours. But would you rather wait until your motor's not running well, or you blow it up, or would you rather change it at a regular interval that you determine? Okay, so there's our new filter, aftermarket. And again, if you love buying OEM, please by all means do that. They're easy to find. By the way, I just took some of the old motor oil and put it around the gasket on the oil filter. My grandpa, I don't know, always said to do that because it makes a good seal and keeps the gasket from drying out. So I've always done that. And make sure you don't cross thread it. So start this baby right. You'll know it because you can basically turn it with a finger. So, and again, we don't want to over tighten this, so we're just going to hand tighten the filter, hand tighten it right about there, and then another quarter turn past that as it was before. Now I just wipe everything down, make sure it's pretty. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care if it's pretty or not, but I don't want all that oil to catch dirt and just make a greasy mess. So I always make sure I clean up all my oil spill if I have any. And it looks like the oil filter's in good shape. Let's go around and check on the other side and see how our oil draining's doing. In fact, we're done really well on the oil draining. And we're going to put our cap back on that. That's just so cool, John Deere, just to have a turn cap. Makes the job really incredibly consumer friendly, which a lot of places just don't do anymore. They like to make it as complicated as possible so that you have to take it in for a service. Okay, I'm going to take my gallon jug out here. I'm going to see if I got any oil to contribute from the oil filter before we throw that out. And there's a little bit in there, maybe 2 or 3 ounces. Okay, so again, you want to check your gallon jug to make sure that we got about a quart to a quart and a half in there, because that's what it calls for, is a quart to a quart and a half. So let's go get our oil. Again, the oil is 10W30 is what they recommend. And again, if you want to spend the money on John Deere OEM oil, by all means, please do. And always notate. So we're putting in a quart and a half. So this is a gallon. 4 quarts is right there, 3 quarts is right there. So we want to be right in the middle, like right there. So a quart and a half. This is a huge hole, so I don't think we need a funnel. No problem whatsoever. It really is easy, and I think that if you have 10 or 15 minutes in your oil change for service on this, you've done something wrong. You didn't follow the video. And don't overfill. So we just put 1 quart in. So we're going to keep on going here. Boy, that's good looking oil. Any oil is, it's not black oil, right? Okay. So now all we're going to do is clean our stick and stick that back in there. And all we're looking for is to show up between, it says high, and 2 holes. We want to be right in the middle of those, and that will be full. Okay, so let's fire up the John Deere. Mine, you have to sit on it, so we're just going to start her up and see how she does. So I just let it run for about maybe 20 seconds just to get that oil moving through the machine, and we'll let that settle for about 5 minutes. And while we'll do that, we will go around the other side, change the air filter that's not hot, and put the new air filter on, and then we'll come back and check the oil. Okay, so let's see here. I've never done this before, so I haven't even looked on YouTube, believe it or not, about how to do it, but I don't see any clip on here, so this has got to be a pull off, I think. Yes. And that is really in pretty good condition. But as long as we have the new air filter, I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag and just mark it John Deere D100, and if we need a filter on the go, we will have one. There's some white dust in there, but it looks like in really good shape. So let me grab the other filter. And again, well, there is a little difference in filters there, but not much. This one's in pretty good condition, but I'm going to install this one because I like the pre-filter, because that really catches 80% of all the dirt. And simply you just slip that right over the outside of this filter. Ah, I just ripped it. Be careful. These things are really thin and they're just meaning to catch dust, so don't try to pull it too hard. I've ripped it in 2 places now, so. Okay, now we're just going to simply reinstall that. Put back on our cover onto our John Deere 17.5 horsepower motor here. It does tighten all the way down. So these were loose before. I guess once in a while we should check to make sure that all of our nuts and bolts are tight. There we are. Boy, what'd that take? 20 seconds to put our oil filter on? Now we're just looking for the fuel filter. All you need for that is just a pair of pliers. We're going to squeeze these O-ring clips on here. And this one's rusty, so hopefully it holds together to get it off. Yeah, it does. But good thing we got new clips, because I'm going to replace that. Anytime I see rusty stuff, that's part of my maintenance plan, is to maintain. Off it goes. There's our oil filter, and that is pretty dirty in there. So again, the arrow is pointing up on this one, so you want to make sure you put your other one in the same flow. This one doesn't have an arrow on it, but we're going to reinstall it just kind of the way this one was, with the lid on top. And as soon as you start it, it will tell you if it's flowing properly. Oh, I'm going to take off this rusty fuel clamp, line clamp, and replace it with a new one that was provided to us in our packet. Here we go, just like that. Slip it over top. Just slipping it over the fuel line, sliding it down a bit. Installing our new filter and sliding that fuel clamp, hose clamp back up. And the top one looks like in really great condition, so if it were rusted or showing any signs of wear, I would probably do something about that, but she's in really good condition. Make sure that your fuel filter nipples are fully installed all the way to the end on your fuel hose. And there you go. That is all taken care of. And the only other thing we got to do is the spark plug. So let's move around to the other side. and we'll check the spark plug. All you do is look for the spark plug line on your motor. Then the line goes to like a big bib that goes over your spark plug, and we're just going to pull that firmly off. So generally what I use, at first I get the new spark plug and the new spark plug, and I find the right size socket before I try to come over here with 5 different socket sizes. So I already know I got the right socket size. I don't have to bring all these different tools over. Then I just use a short extension that goes in the spark plug socket, and then obviously our ratchet. Right to tight, left to loose. We got that out, and then all we have to do is just put the new one in and tighten. Again, I would go to tight, just to firmly tight, and then 1/4 turn more. Reinsert your spark plug cable onto your spark plug. And the spark plug doesn't look too worn, because again, we're doing this about 30 hours, so it shouldn't be worn. A paper towel, and we're going to check our oil level. Boy, that is really clean oil. It's going to be hard to tell if it's full or not. Make sure you put it in, turn it all the way tight so that it seats as low as it's supposed to. And that oil is darn close to perfect. Boy, they should know their motors. Looks like it's right between the 2 lines. I'm going to check it one more time. It is right between the 2 lines. Isn't that great? Okay. Well, I love my John Deeres. I love my F-250 pickup trucks. I like all American. It's a great machine. Never gave me a stitch of problems. And maybe next month we're going to tighten up the belts and adjust the clutch. And again, I'm just going to add a little carb cleaner / fuel injector cleaner / fuel conditioner to the oil system. Because that helps clean out the carburetors and all the gunk from our poor gases and all that. And it really helps just kind of really finalize our tune-up. That's it for a complete service on a John Deere 100 series lawn mowing tractor. If you haven't subscribed, please reach down and do that now. We do everything land. We do farms, planting, orchards, pickup trucks, buying, selling equipment, maintaining equipment, ATVs, outdoor fun, and more. So subscribe now and you'll get updates. And please be sure to like too, because YouTube is ridiculous about people have to like your video. And leave me any comments whatsoever. Please remember to click on the Amazon link below to buy your parts, as that gives us like $1 or something from Amazon, so it helps. Okay, thank you folks. It was a lot of fun. Bye-bye.